It's like if you have a certain disease, it has certain symptoms, and these are the symptoms of this. While government treats citizens as terrorists, Mexican military invades U.S. Navy chopper with armed troops conducts surveillance in South Texas border town. Authorities could care less. Well, that's because they're all scared to death. They get killed all the time, and then they say, oh, a drug dealer or a hitman must have killed them. No, the Mexican troops have been reported, even the Dallas Morning News, killing people in Indiana, in Dallas, just everywhere. They just do what they want. While the U.S. government and federal authorities busy themselves targeting American citizens as domestic terrorists, it seems they could care less about the fact that the military of a foreign power is flying around American airspace with wanton abandon. Residents of Falcon Heights, a South Texas border town, saw a Mexican helicopter, this has happened many times, hovering over a house shortly after 6 p.m. on Tuesday night. The chopper conducted surveillance for about 15 minutes before flying back to Mexico. They had armored individuals in the chopper's open ramp. Very military-looking in style and preparation, said Zapata County Sheriff Gonzalez. It's proof the Mexican military sees no boundaries, reports local KRGV-TV Stephanie Stone, adding that the incident wasn't the first of its kind and wouldn't be the last. The markings, I understand, read La Marina, which is the equivalent to Mexican Navy, said Gonzalez. Local residents who saw the chopper refused to talk to anyone on camera, but the news report showed images of the Russian chopper. KRGV contacted nearly a dozen government agencies in an attempt to get answers. After contracting with the FAA about the chopper, the KRGV was told to talk to Customs and Border Protection, who say they knew about the incursion but were apparently unconcerned. Just like all the urban warfare drills the Pentagon has run all over the country, including South Texas, and then internal documents come out that they're acclimating the public for when there's a real martial law takeover, we will stand down. Great example of that, of course, is how they always practice taking over city hall, police stations. They'll be right back. Stay with us. So I shot Texas ranchers, Texas farmers, Arizona, New Mexican, Californian. They are harassed, they are robbed, they are murdered, they are burned out by the Mexican troops and their drug cartel minions. And then anytime citizens go out there heavily armed and say, we're going to protect our property or arrest illegals trespassing, the federal government comes in, I've seen hundreds of cases of this, and sues them. You're going to let the Mexican troops rocket your newspaper or hand grenade it. You're going to let them rob your sheriffs and police. You're going to let them kill FBI agents. Oh, yeah, 2 FBI agents have been killed in just the last couple of years, the articles I've seen. 1 in Southern California on the border, 1 in Arizona. You try to go out there and engage in any type of true national security, you are going to get lit up with rifle fire. You're going to get attacked. And then Bush, because of pressure, put 2,000 National Guard from Texas to California on the border, and it was in the news that they weren't even allowed to have loaded M16s, and there were multiple cases of our troops running when the Mexican troops open up on them. Because Mexico believes the Southwest from Texas to California belongs to Mexico because of the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo. The Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo. Texas won its independence. Then Mexico came up into Oklahoma, killed a bunch of U.S. troops. The United States invaded, took over Mexico City. That's why you have the famous Marine Corps song, from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. Montezuma. From the halls of Montezuma, Mexico City. The Marines went down there 20-1 and absolutely smashed, with Robert E. Lee and Ulysses S. Grant, later to fight each other in the Civil War, absolutely smashed the Mexican forces because the Mexican forces are so incredibly corrupt. Now, Mexico only had a few outposts in these states. Most of the indigenous populations who were Mexican wanted to be American. But our media and our corporations and the universities for 50 years have taught liberation theology in the colleges and now high schools. U.S. government grants have paid for millions of comic books for sixth graders, because the average final year of education in Mexico is sixth grade, teaching that America is evil and that one day the Southwest will be taken back. Why would our government finance that? Because banks run our country. They want to break it up. They want to break it up and then put it into a larger North American union by stealth. And in 2000, and then again in 2008, this was in Toronto Star, Associated Press. It's in my film Road to Tyranny, 2002. There were more articles 2 years ago on it. That the Mexican government and the Canadian government have contracted to use their troops in the U.S. to, quote, suppress U.S. uprisings. And Mexico's contracted with the U.S. to bring our troops into Mexico during uprisings, or vice versa. Remember, during the Winter Olympics, U.S. troops, that was in the headline, U.S. troops to patrol, U.S. troops to be in Canada. Another headline yesterday in the Washington Post, Homeland Security to decide if Canadians can fly to U.S. inside their own airports. See, they're just merging it all into these unelected regional systems, and it's really happening. And see, folks hear this stuff proposed, or they hear us talk about an article, and then the globalists incrementally put it in, so people are like, oh, Alex, that's not going to happen. Just like I remember reading 10 years ago, they were going to put taxes on all soft drinks and then fattening foods and then track what you eat and what you purchase. That's the real tyranny. People didn't believe it could happen. Now it's in the stimulus bill. It's passed in the stimulus bill. People didn't believe they'd try to put taxes on salt. New York's on the verge of passing a bill to give you $1,000 fines if you have salt on your food. I've got a newscast. I mean, this is really happening. $5,000 fines in 2012 if you have fluorescent light bulbs in your house. Those aren't joke Audi ads with the green police arresting people and SWAT teaming people that have regular fluorescent beautiful light bulbs instead of the green headache bulbs. In fact, they had the mayor of San Francisco, where a company in San Francisco produced those ads, saying, oh, this is what we want. See, you're just being acclimated when you see that green police ad.